This is a 2004 Toyota 4Runner, and I just paid $2,600 for this thing. And this is an easy example of me being able to show you that prices on the wholesale level are absolutely tanking. A lot of dealers are being squeezed right now. Sales are down for a lot of dealerships. This is the slowest time that we experience all year round. And because of that, stuff that was not even touchable for us. I'm a used car dealer. I sell cars that are $5,000 and under. Just like this Toyota 4Runner, untouchable for us for a lot of the times of the year. But right now we can go in and buy something like this cheap enough where I can sell it for $5,000 or under. All right, so right now, just to give you an update, we've got right at 113 cars. There's Alex. Yep. So that's where we are right now. Ideally, in a month and a half, we would like to have, not even a month and a half, in a month from now, we'd like to have 150 cars here for tax time. We're probably not going to get there. My new goal is somewhere around 130. One thing that is going to help us, I think, is that I feel like sales, at least at our car dealership, are probably going to go downhill, and we're going to be able to buy more cars than we're actually selling. I thought we were going to be slow over the last month and a half, but it didn't turn out to be that way. We actually sold quite a few cars. So we haven't been able to buy as many as we were selling, but I think that's going to flip just because as we get closer to tax time, when people get their tax refund checks, you got to think about my customer. They're customers that buy cars that are $5,000 and under. And in a lot of their cases, the most money that they're going to have throughout the course of the year is right when they get their tax refund checks. And a lot of them do get their tax refund checks. And so even if they're needing a car right now, they might wait till they have that cushion. Even if they have the money for it right now, they're going to have extra money right around that time when they get their checks back, and they're like, okay, well, do I buy this car right now and then maybe potentially put myself in a tight place where if something does go wrong, then I'm not going to have that extra cushion? Or do I wait a month and wait till I have that extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, however much it's going to be from their tax refunds, and then I have that extra buffer, and I could, and that way, if something does go wrong, then they're not going to put themselves in a tighter spot. So a lot of these consumers are thinking about that, and then you have the other consumer where they're just broke right now, they don't have any money, and then they get that $4,000 in their refund, and then they can come buy a $3,500 car from me. All of that hits all at once, but all those customers right now, they're having to wait. So what we end up seeing here at my car dealership is that we have a lot of lookers. So we'll have a lot of people actually come into the car dealership, test drive 2 or 3 cars, and this is what we'll see over the next month. And they'll say, okay, well, I really like this one that I'm looking at right here. I test drove it. It looks good. I want to buy it, but I gotta wait for 3 weeks till I get my tax refund check. And in a lot of cases, that car sold before they even come back in here. And they get mad at us. They get mad at us because the car's gone when they're waiting on their check and somebody else will buy it. And I've never understood that. What do you want me to do? You want me to hold this car for you for 3 weeks because you might come back in and buy it? Yeah, that doesn't make sense to us. And we've never done that before. We've taken deposits sometimes and maybe held a car for like a week. And that's in off season, like when we're not busy. But around this time period, we don't even do deposits anymore, just because we know that when tax money hits, we're going to get wiped out. Like there's an initial starting point where the government releases a ton of this money and people get it deposited directly into their bank accounts. And we know that day because that day we'll see it, and it'll be right after lunchtime when people realize that the money's in their account, and we'll sell 6 or 7 cars in about a 3-hour span, and it'll be absolutely nuts. And then the next day we know we're going to get hammered, and we'll usually sell anywhere between 13 and 16 cars in one single day. And it's absolute chaos. We have kids running around in our front office. We have we have just limited parking up here at the front of our building. We'll have it all the way, I'll make sure I don't get the front of my sign here, but we'll have it to where all of that customer parking, we have 6 or 7 spaces right there. We'll have to clear out this right here because customers will have to come in here and park. And then even with all of that taken up and all the customers parked right there, let me throw this out of the way. We'll have customers that come and just park in front of our cars. So we can't even move our cars. Thank you, Alex. So we'll have, and Alex will be out here directing traffic. And we'll have people park in the middle of our driveway. it gets insane. But that's how we know that tax money's here, and we're about to sell all of our cars, and then all the cars at auction are going to go to the moon. But we want to be prepared for that, and we're working on it right now. You can see we got 3 rows, but that's what's coming, and we gotta get ready for it. This is one I'm surprised we were able to buy. This one's a 2014 Mazda 6, I think. Yeah, Mazda 6, and it's got 182,000 miles. I know a lot of times I don't go through the miles on a lot of these vehicles. Just know that majority of the cars that I have, 175 to about 210, 220,000 miles. That's about our sweet spot as far as miles go. We have to have older cars. We have to have higher mileage cars to be able to sell at the price points that we sell at. But I can show you this one, 2014 Mazda 6. 182,000 miles. That's what's on it. We got right at $3,000 in this thing. I mean, it's bright red. It looks good. It should be no problem at $4,000, $4,500 for us. Now, one thing that we can do here with tax checks coming in, we usually go through. We price our cars to hit a home run when we initially price them. Try to make $1,500, and then after 2 weeks, we start lowering the prices. But right now, we know that tax refunds are right around the corner. What we do is usually about a month before, and that's where we're at this time frame, is we'll stop dropping our prices. The reason being is not because we're trying to just gouge customers or anything like that. It's just that we know we're going to be able to get that money out of the cars when the tax checks hit. And then 2, the more important thing is I'm not going to be able to replace these cars, because what happens is all these cars get sold, and just like us, every other car dealer, they experience the same thing. They get really busy, they rush to the auction, and they go buy so many cars, and prices go to the moon. And I'm just not willing to go pay those crazy prices for cars. It could be the easy example is something like a 2002 like Toyota Camry with 180 to 190,000 miles, something that we're buying right now for like $2,000, $2,500. It will go up to $3,500 to $4,000 in that certain time. Yeah, it can almost double in that short amount of time, because if you think about all these small car dealers that are around my area, they can go and clean out their lot, and they have no cars. And if they have to have 20 cars sitting on their lot, and now they're down to 5, well, they're going and they're buying anything that they think they can sell. And in a lot of cases, a lot of these car dealers, as reactionary as they are, they think the money, for whatever reason, every single year, they think the money is just going to keep on coming in. Like, oh, I don't know what happened. I'm just selling these cars and I just need to go buy some. No, but the money goes just as quick as it comes. So we have this segment right after tax time where all the prices crash because these dealers pay way too much for all these cars, and then they can't buy any more cars, and they're not selling them, and then a lot of them have to unfortunately dump these cars they pay way too much for because they have these credit lines that they have to satisfy. It becomes a big problem, and right after tax time, after we dump all our cars, I'll be able to show you our empty lot. I do it every single year, and then I'll be talking about how wholesale prices are going to crash in about a month and a half, and they do it every single year, and that's what we experience here in the car market. All right, so this one was I did the little intro clip with it. It's a 2004 Toyota 4Runner. Oh, there's a limb in my way. Paid $2,600 for this thing. And it's a limited, and it's not in great shape, but it's fine, and it's a 4Runner. But here's the thing: we haven't been able to. We don't even really look at stuff like this throughout other times of the year because we know we're not going to be able to buy it. I've got to sell stuff for $5,000 and under, and that means I've got to pay a maximum of about $3,200 to $3,300 for a car, because we're going to have buyer fees on top of that I have to pay to the auction, and if we add that in and we don't have to fix anything, that's when we're at $3,500, and then I can post it for $5,000. I want to keep as many cars as possible on my lot at $5,000 and under. Every once in a while we have something we either buy wrong, or we have to put a major fix in it and we have to try to sell it for $5,500 to $6,000. You'll see that every once in a while, but I still want to be that car dealer that has vehicles for $5,000 and under. And 4Runners, typically we don't look at them because that doesn't fall into that genre for us, right? So total right now we have $2,863 in this thing. It's going to be probably a $4,500 car on a lot, and I would imagine that we sell it probably pretty easily and quickly, just because it's a 4Runner. I mean, I think the driver's seat has a small chunk taken out of it. It's a limited, it's leather. Like I said, the inside doesn't look great, but just the simple fact that it's a 4Runner and we were able to buy it to be able to sell it for under $5,000 and right at that $4,500 price point, It's going to move. It's going to move pretty quickly. If I could have lots of 4Runners in that price point, I would buy them every time I see them. Fact is, we can't do it because other dealers will pay way more for them than I will because they are fine selling them for way more than I can. I will tell you one of the complications that I have for being this $5,000 and under a car dealer is because, okay, well, we don't finance anything and we're not hooked up with any banks. We're not hooked up with any lending institutions where we can actually get our customers into cars and they can make payments. And we know what, that 83-ish% of all car buyers are payment buyers. So they want to have a car loan. And I don't want to go that route. So every car that I have out here, I sell the full amount for cash, no down payments, no financing, no nothing like that. So that actually limits a lot of the consumers that I can sell to because at the end of the day, the consumer still has to come up with $4,000 to be able to buy this vehicle. And what do we know? We know that most people don't even have $500 in their bank account. So it's even a struggle for a lot of my customers to come up with this $4,000. And it's just crazy to think about that. Okay, this is the situation that most people in the U.S., this is what they're dealing with when they can't just scrape together even $2,500, $3,500 just to buy a car. And this is why it's very difficult for me sometimes of the year, and when the economy, when the inflation runs too hot, when just housing costs as much as it does, it puts a big strain on my customer, and my customers are the ones that are going to get hit the worst in an economy that where inflation's high, where jobs aren't as readily available as we need them to be, when wages aren't going up with as much as the cost of all goods and services and in housing. It hasn't gone up in the last few years, and this is why it's very difficult for me to operate the kind of business that I'm operating when I don't offer level financing and people actually have to buy a car that they can actually afford and not something that they have to take on debt for. So I point out we have Lexus RX 350 right there, 350 right there, another RX 350 right there. I think we've got another one on the hill, and we just bought another RX. So this one's a 300, and we buy these things. I mean, you see on the hill, and we've sold like 3 or 4 of them in the last 2 weeks. We buy these things as much as we can. Anytime we can find one, we try to buy it. And here's another one that we just pulled in. This one's a 2002. What did I pay for it? $2,200. We'll have a $250 buyer fee on it, so we're in at about $2,500. This is a no-brainer $4,000 car for us. We sell them very easily. Very reliable cars. My favorite thing to have on my car lot right now, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is, right? So we got 5 of them for sale, and then we got another one that's coming in our system right now. These are the best cars that I can buy to sell for my car lot. I like Toyota Camrys, very reliable. I think they're the most reliable car you can buy, but as far as me making money and being able to buy a car that I can put my name behind and also still sell it for that cheap price. I know a lot of you want me to say affordable. It's a cheap car, right? Even with it being a Lexus, still a cheap car. It's $4,000, no problem. Instant sale. So this is one we don't buy very often. A lot of these big, you think about Expeditions, I got one of those that we just bought over there, and these Suburbans. But this one is a 2003 Suburban, and we paid $2,000 for this thing. A lot of times people will come in, they have big families, and they need a big vehicle. They need big third row, or maybe a lot of people will use these Suburbans for like work vehicles or whatever. So we try to have at least 1 or 2 of those very large vehicles here at all times. It just hasn't really worked out all that well here recently, just because prices have been so high. But we're seeing with prices going down, we're able to buy more stuff like that. What I say, that one's $2,000. We'll probably have like $2,300 in it if we don't have to do anything to it. It'll be $3,500 pretty easily on our car lot. Probably try to start pricing it out at $4,000 and see what happens, but with things most likely going to get slower for the next month maybe before tax checks actually hit, might wind up being a $3,500 SUV for us. And these are all my cars back here in Recon, and then my lots on the other side of that. One thing I want to point out that I have the luxury of having that a lot of other car dealers don't is extra space, extra storage spot. So there's our car dealerships on the other side of these bushes right here, and then we have this lot on the other side over here that we can also park a lot of cars in. I can put about 90 cars over there on my car dealership comfortably, and that's both recon and for sale. But we can take it up to about maybe 130. I can probably put 40 here and then on the back side of this building. And a lot of other car dealers don't have that luxury. If they run out of room to actually park their cars on their lot and they don't have a storage lot, well, they have to be done buying. And the other cap that a lot of car dealers have, and it's hitting them right now, is credit, floor plan. If they run out of cash and then they have to borrow money, and then they run out of the availability of money to be able to borrow, obviously I have a cap too for that, but because I don't borrow money to be able to buy my cars, I don't have a credit limit as far as what I can spend for my credit line to be able to buy cars. So we can buy a lot of cars, and we're not to our max yet. So we can get to that 150, even 175 cars if we wanted to, if we could find them. Not if we wanted to, because I want to, but if we could actually find the cars. Problem is finding the cars. Space is not a problem for us. Capital is not a problem for us. Credit's not a problem for us, but it is a lot of issues for a lot of other car dealers right now. But I would love to have all of this filled up, and we even have access to another storage lot if we need to. But I don't think we're going to get to that point. I think 130, 135 is going to be the amount of cars that we're going to be able to get to this tax season.